this one.
What up, what up, what up, and welcome another episode of Sex, Chips, Rock and Roll. That's how we roll. Excited to have you with me, and let's go live. Are we live?
Yeah.
We're live. Welcome. My name is Ed JC Smith. This is my good friend Rob, the Truthful Trainer. Make sure you like his page. As always, pleasure. We're going to go into a podcast so you can see a live experience. Sex, Chips, Rock and Roll. There'll be a link. You can download the podcast. As always, today's session. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, nearly ready.
Ready?
You can see behind the
We've got
scenes.
some cleanse drink.
Oh, it's disgusting. Go on, let me have a bit. Hit me up before I go.
Let's go.
Oh man.
Getting hydration in.
Oh Jesus. It's like a
Is it too much for you?
little bit. It's like a bit of a curry. Sorry we're late. I know we said we would go on early, but we was having a good chat.
Let's do it. Let's go.
We're done. Gotta set this all up, man. So we are episode.
Tell us where you're coming in. Katie, how you doing? Vanessa, how are you? You okay?
Kev.
Kevin. What?
I like Kev.
Vanini. What? Vanini. Just give me a heads up. I'm gonna speak to you later on the phone. I won't be in the office later. Just let you know. Vanini. What up? Come on,
Fabulous. Alright. You're an eager beaver now, aren't you? Come on, let's go. We've been waiting for like an hour and a half. Right, just gotta make sure.
We've been turning it, that's why I'm so brown.
Yeah, I'm getting a fried egg in the background. It's alright, I've got this. We're all good. Factor 50. Be safe.
Always.
Always safe. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Episode 13. So we are talking today. We're going to tell. Should we tell what we're talking about?
No matter what happens in your journey.
No. No, you know it now, right?
Jump on that. Dive on that.
Yeah.
Grab that.
Grab that.
Jump on that unicorn and ride it, baby. Whoop!
Steph's looking for head earphones. You can listen in office.
Yeah.
You can download the podcast. It's easy. Just
the
download
link
the
will be in the bio.
And
tell us where you're logging in from. How you been? What you been up to? All right, let's go, Rob. Come on.
If you keep putting me off, I can't remember what one it is for episode 13. Right?
13.
Ready? We're going. Ready? You ready?
Welcome. Welcome. It's you.
Hello and welcome to the Sex, Chips and Rock and Roll podcast, episode 13. I am Rob, the Truthful Trainer. I am with my good friend and co-host.
in the house. What?
Yeah, so what are we talking about today, mate?
We're talking about you got to risk it to get that biscuit. And we're talking about specifically anxiety, stress, and dealing with those fears, challenges in your life so that you can get more from your life. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you download and we'll give you some gifts. And so that, again, if you're enjoying this content, then please let us know that you are enjoying it. And feel free to also, Rob's got a post on his page at the moment doing a quiz about if you want to be a guest on our podcast, and it's a well documented quiz to go through.
Killing me, man.
He needs more work to do.
You're kidding me.
Looking forward to putting that together. But if you do want to be a host, you want to be a guest, we're doing applications for being a guest.
Yeah, what can you bring to the table?
What can you bring? What's your story? What do you want to share? What value can you bring to the audience?
So, as Ed just said, we're talking about stress today. So, Ed, what is stressed? And give me a time when you've been stressed.
I think every day, we get potential to perceive stress, and stress is a normal thing. It's just, I do believe, like, the more you can take on, the better your contrast frames comes to stress. And so, for example, if you did start your own business and you were like looking to invest, like I spoke to a client today, and she's just gone back to Australia, and she's dealing with her family, and she's getting all stressed around how they're, moving in a different direction. They're stuck, and she's been moving forward. And basically, I said that you've got nothing on your mind. You've got an empty mind at the moment. So you make the problem bigger. But however, in like 5 weeks' time, she's about to go into this idea or put this business into place, a nursery, and then she'll be so busy doing that, she won't be worried about that. So I do believe you know, if you do have like an empty mind is a devil's workshop is an old phrase around the fact that if you've got nothing cracking off, then you're going to make problems bigger, right? And so therefore always push yourself further forward, always be focused on your personal goals and not worried about someone else. And stress and managing stress is, and if you really want to be successful, of course come to my ultimate leadership program, but I mean excuse me, but you have to go out and actually, you have to go and do stuff more. You actually have to go out, you know, and if you do want to be more successful, you have to be able to manage your stress effectively.
So are stress and anxiety linked?
Yeah, massively. I just did on my YouTube channel Watch Trending.
Yeah.
And I was taking different themes. I'm doing a video a day and just testing out which gets traction. And yesterday, I'm going to release it today, but I did 5 tips to help. Anton Deck yesterday was trending the fact that Ant has gone back into rehab.
Has he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he's got like a drinking problem with slash pain. For his knee injury or whatever. But it's like anything. A lot of people use alcohol and food to avoid stress, to avoid, you know, feeling a certain way. And of course, it's like all of us, we can get into these situations where we're working, and you know, it can run us down for sure. But you have to look at ways in which to change your state rather than relying on food, alcohol, or other, you know, disempowering substances that in the short term, you know, that they perceive to be a good thing, but in the long term they only run us down further. Can you guys hear okay? Can you hear okay?
Yeah, by the way,
where's the FOMO solution? Where's the I was doing about FOMO. Fear of missing out. You know Jomo? Hold
on. Fear of missing out.
Jomo.
Joy of missing out.
Joy of missing out. That's mate. Fear of missing out. Joy of missing out. And then Lolo.
Hold on.
Oh no. Olo.
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 Joy of missing out. Fear of missing out.
You only live once.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Yeah.
YOLO.
So what was the 5 things that you recommended on YouTube?
5 things.
Because I'm stressed at the moment. I've been stressed recently.
So that was like to avoid rehab. Number 1, I went with.
Don't take drugs.
Number 1, I went with noticing where the stress comes from. Noticing where the stress comes from, and number 2, reflection and taking time out, and you know, being mindful about stress and being mindful around the situation. When I say notice where the stress comes, what language patterns are you using, and number 2, when you're getting reflection, as soon as you spend time doing something else and you have a little bit of perspective on it, then you know your stress changes, and you know it's number 3 was change the way you feel, but don't rely on food, don't rely on alcohol, and you have to change your associations. And you know, cognitive retraining came in at number 5, which was changing your associations. Number 4, get a solid support system in place, get a support group, and you know, be part of a mentor group, and be part of, you know, a champion academy where they are always supporting you. And plug hashtag primary brother. No, but I'm saying you need empowering, like Amy Winehouse. I do truly believe like people can get to this celebrity status where they think they can get away with everything, but you know, I wouldn't allow any of my family members to go through that. If you really care and love, like, you know, it wasn't serving her, and she didn't have anyone in her life that she could rely on. You must have people.
Is that like a trust issue?
I think it becomes a celebrity issue as well, like where people, you know, that they start, you know, they start putting someone on a pedestal.
Do you know what people do as well? What I found is, like, for example, I find this all the time with footballers. So footballers get stressed. They see that as their dream job. They're getting hundreds of £1,000s a week. They're like, why are they getting stressed? They're earning 100 grand a week. I'd love to have that. And people don't realise that
with that comes a great responsibility.
Not just that you can't go out. You're all over the papers if you do anything. You're literally training in. You don't do nothing. You recover. That leads to boredom, and that people don't realise it's not about the money.
No, of course. Like with all sorts of when you start getting paid a lot of money, there's a lot of responsibility to that cash, and a lot
More
of
money,
people,
more problems.
Let's hit that. More money, more problems. Hashtag more money, more problems. But that is the reality. Is that if you don't have a system in place, I think I reckon we could probably get a speaker for that, couldn't we?
What's that?
We
Yeah, I can get.
speaker.
I'll tell you what you can do. Even this. Boom.
Yeah, nice. Is it number one? Oh no, it's an old one.
Oh come on!
That's a 7.
Huh? Oh shit! Shines up.
Yeah.
Got to get the connector on
converter.
it. Oh well, just
Next
tell everyone on
time.
the podcast we went to do because we're live. We was going to connect it, but they can hear us fine. It's all good.
We'll do a microphone next time,
Yeah.
so it's clearer.
As I was saying, at the moment I've been
Nice
stressed.
setup
So
though, isn't it?
yeah, I've been trying to get away. I know it's coming. I can feel it coming. I get overwhelmed. I start slurring. Start getting a little bit emotional, and I'm like, everyone's like, "Oh, Rob's going on holiday again," thinking it's a lovely, like I'm gonna have like a lovely little holiday. When the reality is, I'm fucked. And people don't see
what
that.
you've been doing? Tell us, Rob.
So what have I been doing? So there's been a lot of stress recently. AstroTurf. So my business is, we run it on AstroTurf, which has been knocked down, so we can't be doing it on there. We have a lot of people, clients, not happy with that. They're paying for a service. It's not an AstroTurf. People don't even realise this. This is an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. This is exclusive. Last week we got kicked out of Astro. Basically, there was no AstroTurf. It was gone.
Really?
Yeah, it was gone.
Shit.
Yeah, my city brother, the chairman at the football club where we do our AstroTurf, was having a bit of a flip out. So he was going a bit mad, and we had some equipment there, and he said to my brother as he was there, "Stu, do you mind moving a few bits? Can you move some stuff?" And he went, "I'm too busy." And he's just gone ape shit, and basically he's kicked us out of AstroTurf.
So what are you going to do now?
Now we've sorted it now. I've spoken to him. So my brother, he didn't use this as an initiative. He didn't say, "Don't worry, I'll do it." He just says, "I'm too busy." And as he was leaving, I mean, Rob, Danny's just gone mad. He's kicked us out of AstroTurf. There is no AstroTurf anymore. You need to go and move this stuff tomorrow. So I'm like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm there at the moment." I'm like, "Well, why don't you do it?" He's like, "I'm busy." Very frustrating. Not just that, obviously, we've just started a new online training business.
How's that going? Scaling nicely.
So we've just been talking about this actually. So yeah, I've been scaling it, but it's very personalised. It's only £27 a month.
Wow.
Which is too cheap for what I'm giving.
You should have contrasted that first. You should have hit them with like normally something like that is like 300.
It should be free. Personally, I think it's worth about £200 a month, but I'm hitting it at £27 a month. But it's not all automated, so you have to go in, reply to messages. So I've got all these messages coming in. I had problems with a little AstroTurf problem for a night out the week before. Been kicked out of AstroTurf. My girlfriend's supposed to be moving down, and it's just all hit me at once, and I've gone.
So
help me! I need to get away.
So how do we deal with this? Because the standard reply is that you can't control all these situations in your life. You can only control your response to
Yes.
this. So what are you going to do?
So I've already started. Getting up at 5 o'clock. I'm meditating every morning before bed. No, after I get up, 12 minutes, and then I put a nice little sleep story on before bed.
That's nice.
Calm. That's quite cool. So I've been doing that. I've been planning and scheduling my day more.
That's nice.
Self-planner. Been hitting that, and then I'm trying to trying, but Stuart's away at the minute. Delegate a bit more, a bit like you do, Ed.
Delegation.
Yeah, a bit like you do, like you just done now.
Did you see how quick I can delegate? Delegation is the key, though.
Yeah,
It's where the money's
delegate a bit more. Plus we've had a couple of events, so I'm organising, and the problem with me personally is I like a bit of a control freak. So I'm like, I'll organise the coach to Ascot next week. I'll organise the night out, sort that out.
You sorted out February for us.
That's going to be a joint effort.
No.
So yeah, me and Ed are going to go away in February. You're more than welcome to join us.
Would you like to come?
Yeah, so we're going to
Work on your business.
Yeah, and your health.
work on all elements.
Nutrition, mindset, yes, we're going to do that. And then obviously I'm starting this other thing with my mate Danny, so it's just all a bit too but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Like you know it's coming, right? I don't feel it's anxiety, it's more stress. And I tell everyone it's coming as well. I've just literally wrote an email about it saying that I have a meltdown every 3 months. Even though I know what to do, even though trained in mindset stuff, it still happens to the best of us. I know it happens to you.
Yeah, of course, because you take on a lot, and if you're constantly pushing forward, I think that you should be having slight meltdowns, generally as a whole.
Yeah.
Like, you should be pushing towards where you constantly feel uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is dealing with a lot of stuff. And then as you learn to systemize and deal with that stuff, like, you know, I've committed to doing a video every day, and for the next 365 days to do one on YouTube as well.
You committed every day for 365 days.
Yeah.
And you just put that publicly accountable out there, so you have to do it.
I was keeping that on the low. But
now everyone knows, and they know.
But it was also like focusing on quality as well as just like getting some traction on some organic listings and stuff. But yeah, I mean I've been doing the 7 elements of wealth. I was doing like 2 or 3 of them a day at like a 45-minute a pop, you know, and you know, again, really pushing yourself. And then I noticed like last week, like the brain couldn't do it. You know, you have to like, you have to, but you constantly like, you know, you're constantly pushing yourself.
So what do you do when you start having a bit of a meltdown? What's your strategy?
I mean, always hit the health.
Yeah.
Standard. You got to, and so of course, it's very easy to go binging, and I have had binge problems in the past for sure. Like I come from a very solid binge background.
Yeah.
I would say I was close to, you know, having a slight disorder there when I was younger for sure. Just because you know, when I was on my placement year, I used to. I got bored and I'd just go too extreme, and then I ended up in like kind of a bulimic eating pattern. And it's all like understanding the pattern and then picking that apart. And so it's very easy to go to food, it's very easy to go to alcohol, it's very easy to do that. But you have to, again, like, it's just breaking habitual patterns. And you know, habitual pattern forming is so strong in us. Just something really off topic slightly, but like something that, did you know that, for example, in toothpaste, the actual chemical that makes, you know, when you, depending on what sort of toothpaste you use, when you clean your teeth and they have that fuzzy sensation is like really, and you're like, ooh, they're really clean.
I did know this.
You read Power of Habit, yeah?
Yeah.
I think
it's not, it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, it's just to make you feel
and so therefore
cleaner.
You get used to like wanting to use that product more often. And so, you know, it's, you okay? It's, you know, forming new habits and breaking new ones is a big part of anxiety. And so, like, for example, in the past, and you know, no one's perfect, but for me, you know, I'd say like I'd go and get like gluten-free crisps or something like that. They make me feel better. However, if I switch that to like coconut water, in that moment, it's the same sort of sensation, and I haven't consumed, you know, a whole bag of gluten-free crisps that I don't need. You know?
Gluten-free.
That's how crazy we get.
Yeah.
Gluten-free, baby. Gluten-free.
It's clean.
It's clean and lean.
Oh god.
Clean and lean. How cute is the puppy? Yeah, she's pretty cute. Isn't you, Snuggy? So yeah, so I would say it's easy to turn to food. Food is the easy option. For me, I've never massively been into drinking, so
yeah, same.
Again, I never really formed that habit when I was younger. But for me, you know, binging was like a solid stability in my life, and slowly but surely I chipped it away with focusing on eating balanced and, you know, not denying myself completely, and cutting sugar out, reducing sugar, replacing those initial things. And I do think like emotional eating is I don't think a lot of people talk about emotional eating as
No,
much as they
I've
should.
been reading a good book on that actually.
And I do think like the byproduct of emotionally eating is unfortunately like if you're stressed and then you eat a shitload of sugar-based stuff or whatever, it only heightens the stress.
Yeah.
And so initially there's a short-term fix and there's a long-term detrimental problem because of it. So
you have to, I think for that, if you're emotionally eating, you have to recognise what emotion you're going through, what emotion is it, and then sit in it and do something different that can change your state rather than eating. Had a good one, good book I've just read. 5 Second Rule, Mel Robbins, as I was on my trip to 6.5 hours to North Wales and 6.5 hours back. This is a good book.
5.5 seconds,
5 seconds.
3 second rules.
Yeah, so it'd be, if you're going to eat, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, no.
Yeah.
Deny it. I've been using that to get up in the morning to get up 5.
Countdown's always good.
It works really well.
Internal countdown, very good. 5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. What do you need to sort out? What sort of stuff do you need to sort out? Comment below if you have any questions. Happy to take your question right now live.
Yeah,
If
and
you
we
want
got
any questions.
what's the book, Rob? 5 Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Very good. And it's like how to break anxiety, how to break, I think it's depression, how to change your life because a lot of your decisions are both based on feelings rather than logic. So I feel like doing this, I feel like doing that, when what's actually the best way forward. I feel like eating a burger, I don't feel like going to the gym, I don't feel like getting up. If you go, what's actually better for me, or just cut it straight away.
You have to change the breathing, change your step. you have to get your vibrancy up, like, as you know, you actually have to train your energy so it comes up, otherwise it's no good.
So let's talk, we're doing mostly stress, let's talk a bit anxiety.
Okay.
Do you ever get anxious or anxiety? I'm actually interested to know.
Anxiety, so what's the difference? You're saying it's different from stress. I believe it's similar sort of thing, same thing.
See, I go, so like for example, excitement and fear are quite closely related, yeah, emotional wise, but stress, so yeah,
So
I see what you mean. Is that that?
Well, I just believe it's a different word for the same thing. Like I'm stressed, I'm worried about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anxiety is I'm stressed about something happening.
Stress, you can be worried about the past as well. So how do you get rid of anxiety? So like, say this book I've just read, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, face it. What would your advice be?
So I would always go with, like, whether it's forward or back, you're doing something temporarily to time, and it's either gone on and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and
Is it?
something's going to happen.
Yeah.
A situation, and it's a fear.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'd always say get prepared. Whatever it is, work on focusing on. Can you change the focus, meaning, action within the situation? Can you change your perspective?
So can you just, for the podcast people, we haven't spoken about focus, meaning, action, just quickly explain.
Just a quick process of, like, for example, if you are scared of public speaking, and you're about to do a speech, then if you change that anxiety into excitement, into like, oh my god, this is really a potential opportunity,
and
for
say
me.
it.
And say it and go through it. What do I need to prepare? Get prepared.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to practice the speech? Go over it, and then do some cognitive retraining about that, so that you actually change the association to feeling excitement versus feeling scared. I believe that's one of the most powerful things. And then continue to practice, getting better at that fear. And so therefore, I had a business partner who used to never pay tax, right? Yeah. And he'd be like, it makes me nervous. And I'm like, well, we need to know if we can pay the tax or we can't pay the tax, because if we can't pay the tax, the business doesn't work. Yeah. And therefore the service needs to be charged out more, the product needs to be more expensive, and thus, this is a message. I believe anxiety is a message, stress is a message, it's a signal, an action signal to do something. Therefore, if you think of it like, shit, I'm feeling this right now, what can I do? Puts you in the seat of, like, let's do something about it. And thus, then have, if you've done everything you need to do and you've prepared all you can prepare, then it's time to have faith and go with it, and to believe in your mission, believe in the message,
Jump.
and go for it. Face the
Risk
fear
it.
head on. And I believe anxiety and fear and stress disappear when you do know what you're doing. Like, for example, the police just called me. Right? No joke, right?
Yeah.
So I'm being weighed up as, you know, initially it was sexual assault. A sexual assault for asking someone, can I hold your hand, on video, and then refusing and saying that we're married. Apparently that's sexual assault today. And
It's crazy.
and then so you know, now they can do. I knew, like, I missed this call, and I just knew it. I knew it was him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this is PC, whatever his name is, and he's, you know, we've dropped the charge for sexual assault. It's now common assault. Well, we'd like you to come in and have a picture taken of yourself. And I'm like, and then you start to, you know, it's natural. You start to get like, oh, I just don't need this in my life. Like, I don't want this hanging over me. And then you have to let go of it, and you have to move forward, and you have to.
So how are you feeling about it now?
It's just inevitable that, like, these things happen. You have to accept the consequences of your actions to a degree as well. You have to face the fact that.
Do you think you did anything wrong?
No comment. What? No comment. No comment.
How many times did you say that?
I said it for 5 hours. No comment. Because it was incriminating myself to go into it further. Look, it is. It's a bit risky. Okay, you're looking to get attention. You're looking to get a viral video. You're looking, and you know, let's see what happens. But it's, you know, it's one of these situations where, you know, in life, if you do want to push the boundaries, I think I'm a big advocate of apologise after, rather than ask permission all the time for everything. And, you know, if you read, you know, Richard Branson's book, Screw It, Let's Do It, he's constantly getting pulled apart, left, right and centre. And, you know, he got put in prison for doing reverse call charges at the age of 16, where a lot of people, like, they look at where he is now and think, oh, I wouldn't be like Branson. He's got, you know, 400 businesses. But he started at 16 selling people on the phone and selling advertising space to his student-based magazine, and he was doing reverse call charges, and in those days he didn't get charged for it, and he got found out. And it's like all things, he's like, well, you know, I couldn't afford to make all the calls, and I was saving money, and I needed to save the money, and there's a repercussion for that. And that's just the way it goes, you know. Like with one of my t-shirt businesses, I remember leaving all the stock in ASOS Marketplace, and they ripped the whole lot off. They stole all the stuff, and there was nothing I could do about it. I tried to take them to court, nothing. And this is the way of the world. I remember we released when we released one of our t-shirts, Peter Andre had it. We had it in a t-shirt, and Christian Audigier, what was his brand called? Remind me.
Can look it up.
Christian Audigier had that brand. Ed Hardy. You remember?
Nope.
Ed Hardy. Really?
No, you said Ed Hardy.
Swarovski t-shirts. Ed
No,
Hardy.
that wasn't.
The hats. Ed Hardy. Yeah, you do.
Do I?
You must do. Anyway,
No, go
Christian Audigier, big designer.
Yeah.
Not that you.
No.
No? Ed Hardy. Come on. Ed Hardy
I
t-shirts,
think I
big
was.
time. Anyway, they released our t-shirt when they opened up in Westfield, and they opened up with our picture on their opening of their store. And again, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Try and sue them, do whatever you want to do. They're a big company. They step on you. This is life. There's always going to be people that, you know, put a lot of energy into stupid things. I'm sure you've had hatred online. You know, nothing better than putting up a video and you can really help people give. And some fucker just sees every single bad thing.
What was the one the other day? What was that one the other day? That was.
Was that good?
Yeah, funny.
I don't think it was that funny.
It was like, yeah, that he called. What did he call you?
Yeah, oh yeah. That one.
Yeah.
Sorry. There was another one I posted. I had complexion of hangover piss. True. Tan, dark.
Yeah.
But he was saying that from the ad, though. In fairness, it's like I don't see that in the ad personally, but either way.
You're
I don't
always
care.
gonna get hate.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
It's all good.
It just goes straight over this.
It's all good. You okay with that?
This, yeah.
Yeah.
All good. Right, so I've got questions. Do you want to go into the questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
So that was risking it for a chocolate biscuit.
You
Moral
got to
story.
So the point is
Risk
that
it.
you got to go out and get it. Like if there's anxiety, that means that there's something challenging. If there's anxiety, that means that there's something there to tell you something. There's a message there. You got to go and get it. And I'm out. See ya.
No, you're not. Get back here.
Snuggy.
Right. First question. The sex question. I've got a good one earlier actually as well that I'm going to put out. How do I become? This is me asking this, by the way. This is me.
Is it?
No, it's not. How do I become more confident around beautiful women?
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. How do I become more confident?
What do you think, Rob?
What do I think? I think sometimes you just gotta risk it, go for it, do it, throw a compliment, and just see how it gets you. As you keep doing it, as you build up, you get more and more confident.
Or you can watch the game, or read the game. Game theory.
Start talking to ugly. Build yourself up. Build yourself up. Start with like ugly.
No, don't start that. Don't start that.
And then build.
You've just lost
build
every single female subscriber. Every single one's gone now.
They're still there, aren't they? We've got more people than ever. So even Mark's watching, even my brother's watching. It's all good.
We should go live with yours at the same time, you know.
Yeah, we should do actually. But I need to read the questions and stuff.
Aye.
So how do you become more confident? I say risk it. Sometimes you just gotta do it. Realise the thoughts are. What's the worst that happens?
That's a good one.
What's the worst that happens? She says no. If you don't ask, she says no anyway.
Yeah.
It's just all about. You got to deal with rejection.
Confidence comes from competence, so I'd also recommend strongly understanding communication, understanding how to flirt, learning how to be charismatic, and seriously upgrade your skills in banter, humour, and being an active listener, being someone that's interesting, and going out doing experiences, not hoping to buy stuff, hoping to impress someone, but you know, buy a lot of information, buy experiences, buy memories, and share those memories.
Very nice.
Nice. Good luck out there, my man.
This one. Yeah, we've just talked about this one. Every time I get stressed, I eat, and then I feel guilty. How can I stop this?
Just go back over the first section.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, again, just you know, remind yourself of the long-term pleasures versus the short-term.
Yeah.
I do think like living, being consciously aware. You know, you're more than welcome to download 7 elements of mindfulness that I've got.
Mindfulness is good. Yeah, that's good tip.
And in there, mindfulness eating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it really?
like
I think I need to listen to that.
So
That might be
talking
good for
about
me.
how to stop emotional eatingness and from a mindfulness approach.
Yeah, I like that.
You like
Right,
that?
I like that. Ready? Last. Well, actually, got 2 more. So I like this question. How can I be sure some people don't steal my business idea?
That's living scarce, my man.
Mm.
There's an idea is just an idea. It's implementation of the idea.
Action.
So many people have the idea but don't do anything with it. But I appreciate that you're worried, and if it is really good, you can always get people to sign non-disclosures or whatever. But I still think today I give so many ideas and so much information. I you know, last year I did like 200 lives.
Yeah.
And one of the fears around it, I was like, I'm gonna go for it, test out live, test out some topics, test out some different things. And I was wondering, like, would you ever get to a stage where you just deliver so much that no one else wants anything else?
Yeah, yeah.
And that didn't happen because people will always want more.
Yeah.
And you know, you just have to. It's more important to get the idea moving rather than thinking about the idea, and then just move that idea, because that idea might just fail, and that doesn't matter if it does, because then you can compound on the idea again, and it's like a different project.
Yeah.
And so think of it like projects.
Yeah, I've failed so many times.
But just I do get a lot of people that are worried about their idea being stolen, but there's nothing worse than going down the street realizing that your idea is already being implemented in some shape or form and you weren't involved, and someone else had.
Loads of people come up with Facebook before I come out.
Like
And Amazon.
We had a guy who was like, he made me sign an NDA, and he's like, I'm going to take down YouTube, and I'm like, do you know how big these organisations are? You know, like how much they invest in, you know, like no one's taking down YouTube. Like you might be able to do a little spin on it or different, but you're not going to take it down generally as a whole.
Yeah.
Because it's too big. It's owned by Google, and you don't need to take it down. You just need to do something different. And why would you want to?
Even if you capture a part of that market.
Yeah, it's just again, it's you know, I think it's delusional to a degree, and you need to go out and have some failure. It's no different, and people have always done this. Branson tried to take out Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I remember that story.
With Virgin Cola, and even with Branson's budget, he was not capable of taking out Coca-Cola as a leading brand. And you know, it's again to know that I can't remember the exact figure he pumped into it, but we're talking hundreds of million didn't do it. There's certain brands that are not going to be able to be shaken today, and there's
Didn't he do something against Coke as well for his advertising?